Welcome students, welcome to the lecture number 4 of chapter 2, that is Python programming fundamentals. Okay, so in the previous lecture we have discussed about operators. Okay, and under operators we have learned about the arithmetic operators. Okay, so in today's lecture we are going to discuss about some other operators. So the next category of operators that we are going to study is basically relational operator. So relational operator is basically used to find out the relation between two objects. Okay, so under relational objects we have greater than, equal to. So these are basically symbols for it. Okay, so remember one thing, that under relational operator we have this symbol for representing the greater than relation, this is for greater than equal to relation, this is for less than, this is for less than equal to, and for equality we will basically put two double equals. Okay, so basically two double equals are used to check whether the two objects are equal or not. Okay, and then exclamation equal to is basically for representing the not equal to operator. Okay, so these are the relational operators. So let me perform the operations related to these operators practically also. So let me open Python first. Okay, so I will open this IDLE. Okay, just wait, the interactive environment is basically going to be open now. The interactive mode of Python is now open. Okay, so suppose if I write 5 is greater than 2. So in this expression I am utilizing this greater than operator. So obviously the relational operator always get the answers either in true or false. So when I write like this, 5 greater than 2, then definitely I will get the answer as true. Okay, so suppose if I write 5 is greater than equal to 4, then obviously I get the answer as true. But suppose if I write 5 is less than 4, then obviously I will get the answer as false. Okay, and suppose if I written 5 is equal to 4, I have put double equal to over here. Okay, you can see that I am using double equal to operator, right? So obviously it is false. But suppose if I have written 5 equal to 5, okay, so in this case obviously we get the answer as true, right? Now the one more is suppose if I write 5 is then exclamation mark then equal to 5, that whether 5 is not equal to 5, obviously we get the answer as false. But if I write 5 is not equal to 4, then we get the answer as true. Okay, so these are the basically relational operators that we have discussed now, and I have shown the practical implementation of all these operators, that all of these operators will give either result in true or false, and they basically perform the operation between the two objects, or we can say two values, right? Now after the relational operator, with the next type of operator we have, that is a logical operator. Okay, under logical operator we have three types of operator. The first one is basically AND, OR, and the next one is NOT. Okay, so let us see that what basically OR represents. Logical AND, where basically AND we are discussing about the AND operator first. Okay, so let me see that what is basically AND operator represents. So logical AND, it returns true. Okay, the logical AND operator will returns true if all conditions are true, otherwise returns false. Let me tell you one thing, then when we are going to use this AND and OR word, when we have to test multiple conditions simultaneously. Okay, suppose till now we have checked only single condition at a time. Suppose if I return 5 is greater than 4. Okay, so till now we have seen that we have checked just a single condition at a time. Okay, but suppose if there is a situation that we have to check multiple conditions at a time, so what we will do in that case, right? So let me first explain you the working of AND operator. Okay, As I told you that if we want to test multiple conditions, okay, at a time, then in order to combine those multiple conditions, we have to use either AND operator or the other operator, that is OR. Okay, so suppose we have a condition 1 and condition 2, right? We have two conditions with us. One is represented by C1 and another condition I will represent it by C2. Okay, so suppose in between these two conditions I use the AND operator. Okay, I use the AND operator. Then what will happen? If the first condition is true and the second condition is true, then the overall result of this whole situation is this is considered as a combined situation now. Okay, so when condition 1 and condition 2, when I put AND operator in between them, so then it is considered as a combined situation. So in this situation, if the first condition is true and the second condition is true, then the combined result of this expression is basically true. Okay, but suppose if the first condition is true but the second condition is false, and suppose if the first condition is false but the second condition is true, and suppose if all the two conditions are false. So these are basically the different situation that may arise when we specify two conditions, okay, using the AND operator. So obviously either both of the conditions are true or both of the conditions are false, or at least any one of the condition is true. Okay, so we have listed out all the four situations that may arise between these two conditions. So what we have evaluated that if both the conditions are true, then the result is true. But suppose if any one of the condition results in false, then in case of AND operator, your overall result becomes false. Okay, so it means that when you are using AND operator, you have to be careful that AND is used only in those situations where you have to perform the work if and only if all the given conditions are true. Okay, if you have to perform the work if and only if all the given conditions are true, then only you will use the AND operator. Okay, so AND operator will give true result only if all the conditions given are true. Okay, so let me show you practically also that how this is going to work. Suppose if I return 5 is greater than 3, and then I write 5 and 5 is greater than 4 and 5 is greater than 5. Okay, over here I have written three conditions, and in between these three conditions I put AND operator. Okay, what I put? Basically I put AND operator. Then what will be the result? Now if you can see that the first condition, that is 5 is greater than 3, it's true. Okay, the second condition, that 5 is greater than 4, it's also true. But the third condition, which is 5 is greater than 5, it's not true, it is basically false. Okay, because 5 is equal to 5, 5 is not greater than 5. Okay, so what will be the answer in this case? As I told you that in case of AND, the result will be true only if all the conditions are true. But over here the first two conditions are true but the last condition is not true. So in that case we will get the answer as false. Okay, but suppose if I write the condition like AND 5 greater than 4 and 5 is equal to 5. Okay, suppose if I use this expression. So if you look at this scenario, so you can see that all the conditions which are given over here are true. The first condition, 5 is greater than 3, is true, 5 is greater than 4 is also true, and the 5 equal to 5, that is also true. So all the conditions are true. So in that case we will get the answer as true. Alright, so I hope you understand that whenever we use AND operator between multiple conditions, then we get the true result only and only if all the conditions are true. Even if a single condition turned to be false, then the entire result will be in false. Okay, so this is basically the condition with the AND operator, right? So the next logical operator that we have to study is basically the OR operator. Okay, so let us see that what is basically this OR operator specifies. Now the logical OR. Okay, so this OR returns true if at least one condition is true. Okay, so what is written over here, that the OR logical operator will returns true if at least a single condition out of the multiple conditions is true, then the OR operator will give the result as true, but it returns false in if all the conditions are false. Okay, so let me explain you with the help of the first I will show you the various situations. So now we are basically discussing about the OR logical operator. Okay, so suppose this is my condition number 1 and this is my condition number 2, and within these condition I put the OR operator. Okay, so these conditions are now combined with each other with the help of this OR operator. Now what will happen, suppose if the first condition is true and the second condition is also true, there may be a situation when the first condition is true but the second condition is false. Alright, and suppose if the first condition is false and the second condition is true, and there is a situation that when both the conditions are false. So basically these are the 4 situations that may arise in this case. Okay, so any one of these situations may arise in this case. So suppose if both the conditions are true, or first is true or second is true, in all these three cases your overall result or your final result will always be true. Okay, in this case your final result will always be true. But when it will give us the false answer, when all the conditions are false, only in that situation we get the answer as false. Okay, so I hope you understand that in case of OR, if even a single condition becomes true, then the result is true. Okay, but when it will give us false result, only when if all the specified conditions are false. So let us see it practically also, that how it works. Suppose if I have written 5 is greater than 3, or 5 is less than 3, or 5 is less than 4, or 5 is less than 5, or 5 is less than 6. So over here I have written 4 conditions. Okay, one is, the first one is false. Okay, 5 is not less than 3. Second one is also false. Third one is also false. But the fourth one, that 5 is less than 6, is basically true. So in this case it will give me answer as true. But when it will give, so you can see that even a single condition is true, then in case of OR the entire result is basically true. Okay, but suppose if it is written 5 is less than 3, or 5 is less than 4, or 5 is less than 5, we have specified only these 3 conditions. So now you can see that all of the conditions are false. So in this case we get the entire result as false. Okay, so in case of OR you will get the answer as true if at least a single condition is turned to be true, then you get the answer as true. But when you get false, it means the all the conditions which are combined with the help of logical operator OR, all conditions are false, only then you get the answer as false. Okay, so just remember one thing, that suppose I am giving you one more example to understand about this OR concept and or concept. Suppose if in a paper, if it is given to you that you have to perform either question number 1 or question number 2. Okay, so if in a case, if it is given to you that in a note section, suppose in a note section it is given that you have to perform either question number 1 or question number 2. So what does it means? It means that if you know the question number 1, you can do that, you will get the marks. And if you know the question number 2, if you don't know the question number 1 and if you know the question number 2, then obviously in that case also you get the marks. Okay, so if you know the question number 1 but not question number 2, in that case also if you perform question number 1, then you will definitely get the marks. Okay, but suppose if you don't know the question number 1, okay, and you know the question number 2, obviously you done the question number 2, then also you will get the marks, right? But suppose if you know the question number 1 as well as question number 2, so you can do any one of them, na? So in that case also you will get the marks. But suppose if you don't know question number 1, okay, and also you don't know how to solve the question number 2, so in this case obviously you can't solve any one of the questions, so in that case you will not get any answer. Okay, and suppose let me take one more example. Suppose it is given that you have to do question number 1 and question number 2. So what does it mean? It means that you will get the answer, you will get the marks only when you if you attempt both the questions. Only in that case you will get the marks. Okay, all right. But suppose if you know the first question but you don't know the second question, right? And suppose if you know the first question but you don't know the second question, if you don't know the first question but you know the second question, or if there is a situation in which you don't know any one of the question, in all the cases you will not get the marks, because it is mentioned that you have to perform both question number 1 and question number 2 to get the marks. Okay, so I hope it is understandable, it is understood to you that when it is given that you have to perform question number 1 and 2, it means you have to do both the questions, only then you can get the marks. Okay, but if it is given that you can do either question number 1 or question number 2, so in this case if you attempt any one of the question, then also you will get the marks, right? So this is basically the common difference between and or operator. Obviously we are going to use these operators in our program later on. In that case you will see that how we use this and or operator in different situations, in different conditions. Okay, because right now I just take a simple condition like 5 is greater than 3, 5 is greater than 4, simple conditions like this. But when we use it in programs, then obviously we are going to use some technical conditions also. Okay, and the last one is basically not. So what is the purpose of this not? This not is basically used to reverse the result. Okay, it basically reverses the results. It means if you have got the answer true, it will turn it to false. If you get the answer false, it will turn it to true. Let me show you practically that how this works. If I write not 5 is greater than 4, you know that 5 is greater than 4 is true, but outside of it we have written not. So what the work performed by this not operator, it will basically reverse the result and you will get false. Okay, and suppose if you have written some false condition in it, suppose you have written 5 is less than 4, so it is wrong, but due to this not, it will reverse the result and you will get the answer as true. Okay, so I know that there is a question arising in your mind that when we are going to use this not operator. Obviously very soon we are doing some program, we will do some program, okay, in which I will show you the use of this not operator. Okay, but till then you have to just think that the purpose of not is basically to reverse the result which is obtained by the condition. Okay, so now after that, these are the 3 logical operators we have studied. Now after that we will see the next kind of operator, that is assignment operator. Okay, so under assignment operator you can see that we have single equal, then we have plus equal to. What is this plus equal to? Suppose if I want to write that A is equal to A plus 5. Okay, if I want to write that A is equal to A plus 5, right? So in this you can see that we are adding 5 into the current value of A, and whatever will be the new value, that is get stored in A. Okay, so in order to just shorten this expression, we can use the plus equal to operator, because in this case we are adding 5 in A and also storing the result in A. So we can write the expression like this, that A less than equal to 5, sorry, A plus equal to 5. So it means the value of A get increased by 5. Similarly, we have minus equal to with us, multiply equal to with us, division equal to with us, floor division equal to with us, modulus equal to with us, and exponent equal to with us. Okay, so let me show you practically also. Suppose if I had taken a variable A and put value 40 in it, okay, and when I print A, write A, we will get the value 40. But suppose if I write A plus equal to 10, okay, then what will happen after that? If I show the value of A, then what I will get? I get 50. Why? Because this expression basically increased the value of A by 10, right? If I write A multiply equal to 2, so obviously what is the current value in A right now? It's 5. So when it's 50. Okay, so when 50 get multiplied by 2, we get the answer as 100. So let's see, we are getting the answer as 100. Okay, and suppose if I write A minus equal to 40, so right now the value in A is basically 100, and when we are subtracting 40 from it, then we will get the answer as 60. Okay, so in this way we can use this assignment operator, and they are basically used as a, they are also called as the shorthand operators also, because they are basically reducing the size of the expression. Because you can see over here, we are writing A is equal to A plus 5. So in spite of writing A is equal to A plus 5, we are using this operator A plus equal to 5. So it is basically shortening the length of the expression. So now the expression length is small as compared to this one. Okay, so this is basically assignment operators, or we can also call them as shorthand operators. Okay, we can also call them as shorthand operators, right? Now the next type of operator is basically membership operator. Okay, and in membership operator we have the operator named as in operator. What is the function performed by this in operator? Listen to it. Gives true. Okay, the in operator will give the answer as true if the specified data, okay, whatever data we have specified, is present in the given sequence / dictionary. So what is basically sequence? You know that there are 3 types of sequence. One is basically a string. Okay, we have seen it in the data types, that under sequence we have 3 types of data types. The first one is basically the string, then we have list with us, and along with that we have one more data type named as tuple. Okay, so it means that now in our case, if suppose we have given a particular data, if that data is present in the given string or given list or given tuple, then it will give the answer as true. Okay, let me first show you practically this operator, and then we will come to this definition once again. Okay, suppose I have written A is equal to India. Okay, I have written A is equal to India, and suppose if I have written D in A, so what I will get answer? I am getting the answer as true. Why true? Because you can see that the character D is present in the variable A. Okay, is in India, D is present, and suppose if we write H in A, so obviously H character is not present in A. So in that case we are getting the answer as false. Right, so now you understand that when I write D in A, so it is checking whether the D character is available in A or not. So when it starts checking that, okay, it found the variable D, so that's why it returns the answer as true. But when I write H in A, then it starts finding the H in this data, first the I, then N, for D, then I, then A. So H is nowhere present in this data, so that's why it gives the answer as false. Okay, so now let's come to the definition once again. what is written over here? It gives true if the specified data, that in that case I have in first case I have specified D, and in the second case I have specified H. Okay, so the specified data is present in the given sequence. So out of these three sequence, right now I have taken string, because till now we haven't discussed about the tuples and list. So I am taking a string because string is quite simple. So if the given data, in the first case I have given the data as D, so D is present in the sequence string, that is India, so that's why we get the answer as true. But in the second case we have written H, and we want to find H is present in the given string, but at that case H is not present in the string India, so that's why we are getting the answer as false, right? And there is one more, that is not in. So what is the function of not in? Obviously it is basically the reverse of in operator. So it gives true if the specified data is not present. Okay, in the above case, if the specified data is present in the given sequence, then only the answer is true. But in this case, if the specified data is not present in the given sequence, only then you get the answer as true, and otherwise you will get the answer as false. Okay, so let me show you practically also this case. Suppose if I have written H not in A, so in that case I will get the answer true. Why? Because H does not belongs to the A data, that is India. But suppose if I write D not in A, so we will get the answer as false. Why? Because D belongs to the word India, it does not belongs to India, it's false. Okay, so D not in A obviously give us the false answer, right? So these are the operators we have discussed. So till now we have discussed about three tokens. The first token is basically the keywords, and the second token we have discussed, that is identifier, and the third token which we have discussed is basically operators. Okay, so in the next lecture we are going to discuss about the rest of the tokens. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.